Okay guys, so today I'm gonna go ahead and review the Griffin Cartouche auto ship that had to do with the Mini, the Empress Mini, and this is the first auto ship, I believe, right? I had to think about that one. It'll be in the title there, but I'm pretty sure it is. Let me see if it says anything. Yeah, Empress Mini auto ship #1. So it's been a little while because we got the Mini when in like November? October? I don't remember, but it's been a little while. So let's open it up and see what's in here. I did bump it because I got my crafty fun stuff from Crafter's Companion. I wanted to start doing videos on that, so hopefully you guys are enjoying those. I think I've only posted one so far, but making reviews for everything. I'm gonna have to just open this. What happens is they put tape on here, and that tape, that double-sided tape, also sticks to the plastic packaging. So they call this one Cartouche, and you know, I don't know, but this looks like a nice crest. It's really pretty. The shape of it looks like a crest. So we have the outside frame that will cut this whole thing out, but it does not cut the center. If you want to cut the center out of it, you can cut this to make it into a frame, or you can just cut this on another piece of paper to layer it over this area. And then it has this really pretty, kind of like a, not like a vase, but the way she uses it in the examples I'll show you, they use it kind of like as a vase. So it's really pretty. And then there is the word smile and the little swirly. And so that's all there is there. It comes with an embossing folder, and these things were designed, well, not designed for, I mean, they fit through the Mini. Obviously you can put this to your Empress or anything else, but since this is auto ship for the Mini, you pretty much have to have the Mini, right? If you don't have the, you wouldn't be getting this otherwise, because they didn't offer the auto ship by itself. So accordion Geo 3D embossing folder, it says, and it's really pretty. It just has kind of, I said chicken wire in the last video, but it's just, I don't know, pretty design. So again, these are smaller. This one happens to be just about 4 inches by almost 6. And the plates that go into, so let's talk about the Mini real quick in case you're wondering if you're watching this video and you don't have it. The opening is, I believe, like 4 1/4 or 4.5 inch opening, but the plates are only so big, and the plates are 4 1/4 by 7.5. So the length is good. The width is only 4 1/4. So anything you put in here has to be smaller than 4 1/4. Okay. So that's good for our smaller cards that I normally work with. Today I'm going to make a 5 by 7 card only because I want some of the background paper I'm going to be using to show up. But usually I like making A2 size cards, which are your 4 1/4 by 5.5 type cards. So she has these pretty examples, and I think I'm going to base mine kind of like off of this one here, so we can use the die. I'm going to do some background paper, and then I do want to use the embossing folder just so we can try out more of what's in here. So on this one, I was like, oh, this is cute, but I realized she layered up like a blush, you know, like a lighter, maybe very, very light pink blush and like a darker pink there. But these are, she did with the embossing folder, but she cut them with a different die, right? That die is not in this set. So I want to use the dies, so I'm like, I'm gonna skip that one over, even though I thought that was really cute. This one she made like a little frame. Again, that die is not in this kit. A lot of the examples there. And then these 3 are using the crest. And what I was trying to say about this thing, see how she puts it here? And she puts the little flowers. I don't know what I'm gonna do about that part yet. I might pull out some of my flower stickers, but for now, we will see. This one, she just kind of left it open, which is really pretty. Sorry, that's rubbing against. I like the way it's just kind of left open here. And so she popped that up and then layered things in front and behind it. That's really cute. And then just another one again with a die, with the embossing folder, also die cut. So I'm not gonna die cut the paper I'm going to emboss, just because I want it to, you to see the folder and not bring in other things that are not from the kit. Obviously we need papers, so I have everything here. The paper I'll be using is from the Solstice stack. I just picked out one of the pretty ones that had like some pretty blue and purples in it. Throw that down here. Oh, I have the heater on and now I'm getting hot. It like blows right at me over here on the left. And you know, you turn 41. That's not my favorite thing. Okay, so let's use our embossing roller. We'll use this. I cut a piece of paper. So I have a card base here that's just some card bases that I had bought a long time ago at, what's that place called? Tuesday Morning, I think. So I cut this piece of paper, which is really pretty, has all that gorgeousness. That's why I don't really want to cover this up, but we're going to have to end up covering it up, obviously. I cut this at 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, so that it's about 1/8 inch around, smaller than my card base. So that's just going to be a background piece. I do want to, again, use the embossing folder, so I'm going to cut a piece that'll layer over this and see how it covers up a lot of it. How big is this thing? Let's see how big this guy is. I kind of gave it some thought, but not really. Not enough to... Yeah, so I almost have to use this whole thing. I was going to say, well, maybe I can cut this down smaller so it doesn't cover up so much of the back. We'll just try it. I may end up using it, I may not. And then we're going to cut this guy out. And the papers I chose are, again, from a craft kit from Crafter's Companion. It was sitting here and I'm like, you know what, these colors, I saw this pretty purple sticking out. I'm like, I need to use that purple. It's so pretty. I love it. So I'll probably do the frame, this thing with the purple. And then let's pick another color that can go behind it. Ooh, this is a pretty one. This pink in here. So I'm not sure what kit this came from. Look, even that blue matches really well with the paper, but I like this pink. So we're gonna make it really stand out. Okay, so I'll put that down. I said this was like 4x6. 4x6, and I cut it. Okay, we're gonna cut it down to about 4x6. So let's do 4. Let's do a little bit smaller than 4. A little bit smaller than 6, because I don't really want to cover too much of the background paper, but it's going to, isn't it? So I'm going a little bit smaller than either one of those things. And then we need this obviously cut down so I can run it through the machine. So let me see. Let's do this one 4 1/4 only because I'm not going to measure, but I know the biggest thing I can go through there is 4 1/4, and I'll leave it just as long as it is. Okay. This stuff to the side. A little bit smaller than 4, a little bit smaller than 6. And this is the same on both sides, so I don't care which way it goes. But with Anna Griffin, the side of the paper that you want facing you, the side that you want it to be embossed, you know, up into, go ahead and leave that facing you, facing up towards the words Anna Griffin. And you guys, I haven't used this little machine in a while, and I don't know where my book is for it, so I don't remember the sandwich, but I'm going to say it's just plates. Let's try that. I don't remember. It's been a while. Seriously, I think I reviewed it and then I hardly ever use it. That looks about right. Let's see what happens. Maybe if it doesn't work out too well, we do metal shim, but that is okay. It's not as... I mean, I can see it. I just don't see it very well. So let's run it one more time with the metal shim and hopefully we don't mess up our machine. That was pretty good. I think if you're in a rush and you're like, okay, I don't want to pass it again for, you know, 5 seconds, it would have been okay. So that went through nicely, and that'll probably give me a little better embossing. Yeah, that's quite a bit better. It does almost want to tear the paper though, so be careful with that. I did see a little bit of the paper looking like it wanted to tear anyway. And if you look on the back, hello, to 3D emboss, place a plate on your work surface. Obviously, the embossing folder with the paper inside on top, and then stack second A plate on top. And that's what she did. So that's what I did initially. I did the 2 A plates, you know, with the embossing folder and the paper. And it just didn't give me the deepest emboss. So that's kind of why I ran it through again with the metal shim, and it worked out fine. All right. Pretty, pretty. So we're done with that. Now I'm going to run this guy through. Again, this is the piece that I cut a little bit larger. Now, we always talk about this. She, on her video, says to cut your paper into the magnetic mat. On this thing, she's saying to go ahead and just put your die on the magnetic mat. So we have a plate, cutting plate. Oh, this is the one I tried not to cut into. I cut into that one time. Look at that. It has little marks. But anyway, cutting plate, magnetic mat. She's saying to go ahead and put your die face up on the magnetic mat. In other videos that she does, she just puts the paper, then the die facing down into the magnetic mat, and it cuts into it, and that drives me nuts. That's not my thing. I don't like messing up the mat that way. I'm trying to move this just a little bit more because I feel like it's around the edges. Okay. Then, of course, your paper, and then your other cutting plate, which this is the one I try to cut on, as you can see. It's not too bowed or anything, but that's fine. And then if this doesn't cut quite for you, go ahead and put the metal shim in. You can put the metal shim under the magnetic mat or on top of the magnetic mat. It doesn't matter. As long as it's in there and you can get the pressure from it. That's all you want. You can put it on top. You can cut right into it too. It's just a metal shim. It can do lots of things. Okay, so the reason you do it this way too is that it makes it a little bit easier, but not really. To remove that, what you're gonna do for your rubber embossing is remove the magnetic mat. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the embossing just so we can try it out. Move that out of the way, that's already... Put that back down, and hopefully it didn't shift too much on you. Because now we're gonna put the rubber mat carefully. And then our cutting plate. So we have cutting plate, the thing face up with the paper, rubber mat, and then this, and it's supposed to push it in there. It doesn't feel very tight though, to be honest. It's just kind of like going through real easily. So maybe if you don't get a good emboss, go ahead and put the metal shim. It looks like she has the metal shim in this picture on there too, so that's probably why. Not too good. Let me do it again with the metal shim. It felt very loose as on its way through. But again, like I tell you guys, I always say less pressure, less stuff to begin with. That way you don't mess up your cutting plates, because a lot of people say their plates warp very much, and I always try to go with less pressure first. Okay, so I put that back in there. Hopefully, again, that doesn't shift. Look at all this junk that's on here from, I don't know when, the last time I used it maybe? Okay. And I don't know how this thing got all dusty. There's all kinds of like dusty stuff on it. Let's do it one more time. So she does have instructions in there, obviously, about your sandwiches. Once you get used to it, you don't really have to refer back, but I haven't used this in such a long time, and I hardly use the Empress that, you know, I had to look at it. And that isn't that much better, you guys. I mean, I don't see that this was like, ooh, I'm so glad I ran that through twice. No, not really. Okay, so let's put those down. So let's look at what we were gonna do here. Oh, I wanna cut out that other little piece. So we have this guy. We're gonna put this back here, even though it covers up a lot of the prettiness. We're gonna pop dot this one up, and then let me grab some. Oh, let me grab some white paper that I have some sitting right next to me. Oh, I need to clean this out. Let's see what else she has on here. Yeah, so we'll do that. She did double up this little thing so that there's like a pink one and a white one, but I'm just gonna go and do the white. So we're gonna get one of these cut out. Let me see here. I have the smallest piece of paper, and this is probably Nina paper, which I would hate to use for this, but it was next to me, so that's what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna run that through real quick. Let's get rid of this embossing face down on this guy. And I'm just gonna use this the way it's set up right now because they're all together anyway. Ooh, metal shim. Magnetic. Just take a peek and make sure that it didn't shift, okay? And then I'm gonna have to grab some other bits and bobs to finish this off, right? On the top. Ooh, Lord, this one really went in there because of that metal shim. I tell you, I usually try to go with less pressure first. It was like stuck in the plate. So let's get this out of here if it wants to come out. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Yeah, it really got stuck in there. A lot of pressure, guys. And you can rubber emboss this one too. It looks like there's areas for embossing. So if you want to run it back through with the rubber embossing mat, definitely do that. Because it looks very flat right now. So, you know, if you want to get that going, maybe I will. Just because I want to go ahead and get that rubber embossing, hopefully. So we're going to pop that back in there. Where's my metal shim? I'm going to put the metal shim underneath. I placed the paper right back in there. It looks pretty good. Put this guy on top, and then our other cutting plate. And then we're going to start putting this together and see what happens. We'll see what magic we create here, right? What is the word smile? I don't know if I can use it. But I probably end up, like I said, either grabbing flowers from one of her flower sticker kits or that I have, or maybe just fussy cutting flowers out of the package, out of the paper pack. It's a little better. Has a little texture. But before I move on, I did want to scrub this one. So we're going to take my ancient buffing block and just go around carefully because there are some edges that pick up that you might catch. So I would be a little careful. I'm going to go around this whole thing and I'll be right back. Okay, so I did do a little, we almost did this all in one shot, but I didn't want you guys to hear like all that ugliness. So I did scrape a little bit around the edges of the pink. And now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, you know what, maybe I will. I'll fussy cut some flowers, which is not my favorite thing to do because it takes time, but that's okay. So I still have this piece from when I cut out the other piece earlier. And I always use my small scissors for this, and I love cutter bee scissors. And then I think I have a little pink set, but I'm not sure if the pink ones are cutter bee, but these are the kind I like to use for this kind of thing because they're very sharp and small. So what I'm going to do is kind of go in here and just trim around. Try to get as close to the flower as I can because there are other elements in this, so it could, you know, I don't have enough surface here to just leave like white around them. But I do want like the length of the flower and maybe even the leaves. So I'm just going to go in here and pick out a few little flowers that I think will be cute that might work out. And we'll use those. So I will be right back. Again, always putting pressure on your scissors. I'm pressuring doing this, but I'm using my hand to turn the paper, okay? So like over here, I'm applying pressure, but I'm using my left hand to rotate the paper. And that just gives you a nicer edge. And like right now, too, when I get close enough, a lot of times I'll get impatient, and so what I'll do is I'll trim away whatever I can and then continue trimming with the smaller piece, right? So I don't have that big old piece of paper in my hand the whole time. And you can just kind of, again, keep the pressure, turn the paper, and I'll be right back once I cut out a few little flowers. Okay, that's about all I'm willing to cut. Took a few minutes. I did kind of want to keep you guys along with me, but that didn't work out. So, okay, let's get our paper down. And I'm going to keep trying this tape runner and see if it messes up on me again, because I've heard pretty much everyone say this tape runner stops working on them. But this one so far so good. So the other one that got messed up, a couple of them, I threw them away. Because I tried to repair them and it worked for like another little bit and then it just didn't. So I'm not going to continue messing with them. Sorry about the shadows, you guys. It's just the lighting, the way it is right now. Alright, hopefully I can eyeball this because And I committed before I was even really happy, but that's okay. It looks like there's a lot more on this edge. Again, distress, do whatever you like. I'm just going to put that down there. I'm going to put this one flat on top of that, but since it has ridges, I'm going to go ahead and use this all-purpose glue. I call it all-purpose. Oh, I was going to use pop dots, but now that I think about it, I need to use my 3D glue gel so that hopefully it doesn't dry up in my tube here, in the syringe that I've been using. And so far so good, so we will see. But I'm going to get this out. Oh, these little bags from IKEA. If you guys have an IKEA nearby, get them. I love their big bags. I think they sell lunch size ones too. I wouldn't do that, but I do like their quart size and the bigger bags. They're awesome. Let me think about how I want to do this. So I don't want to end up squishing this when I get there. So let me put this to the side. And I wanted this to kind of be in the back. But I do want all this to have a little texture to it. I don't know what I want to do. Let's put a big gloop right there and just a little bit thinner here. Bigger glob. This stuff does take a little while to dry. So I'm going to put it down so it's kind of sticking up a little bit. Should I get a little bit closer? What I'm going to do is bring this closer to me, but it's not doing that, so let's... And then I wanted these tucked in here somehow, so I'm going to put a little dab of glue on the back. That way I can still kind of mess with them. So I'm just kind of putting them down, but I'm not really gluing them down quite yet. And where would this thing go? Like here? That's not bad. Okay. And so with this one, I'm going to carefully place dabs of glue. This stuff does dry clear, but you know, if you put it too crazy, you're going to see it anyway. So I'm just trying to put little dots. That's what this is good for. Because otherwise, if you get it out of the 3D glue gel tube itself, it's going to make a big glop. I think that's pretty good. Oh, and I'm not going to squish this either. I'm just going to put it right here. There we go. Ah. Okay. So let's go ahead and kind of commit. I think that's good. Maybe put this one a little bit higher. What am I doing? Try to make it so that this bottom of this flower, there we go. That's good enough. Oh, let me move this over a little bit. I'm trying to line it up with this bottom of this crest down here. I can see that it's crooked. Okay. Maybe there. My goodness. Okay. Hopefully that doesn't shift around on me. Now, I know this is gonna... I don't really want to turn this over yet. Maybe I can just put it up like this. Okay, I'm gonna do this defying gravity here. Put big clumps of glue back here, and then maybe a little clump there to hold this up. And here we go. Alright. Okay, I'm not going to touch this. I am done with this. This is still a little bit crooked, so I might still mess with it a little bit to get it straight. But pretty cute. I mean, I tried to use just what was in the kit, other than obviously papers that we need to get. And so it worked out. I think it's pretty. I'm going to continue working with this to make this straight. But thanks for watching, guys. If you got yours, let me know if you tried it out at all, or if you have any ideas of what you'd be doing with them. And I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye now.